What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're talking Rassie versus Jake. Who is the best Springboks coach of all time? We can go through the list, but I'm circling these two guys because are obviously highly respected World Cup winning coaches. Let's not forget the late great Kit Christie, who also took the Springboks to a World Cup victory. But I want to compare these two geniuses who have taken the Springboks from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs. Jake White, you got one individual, a former teacher, strict, goes by the rules, doesn't allow certain traditions, etc., etc. Whereas you got Rassie, who is a coach who doesn't take shit. He plays the game properly, but he expects you to be your best, and he's a phenomenal motivator. Interesting records these two coaches have. On hand, obviously, Jake has played double, or has had double the amount of games compared to Rassie. Jake coached 54 test matches. Rassie only coached 26. I still believe he could have coached more, but we won't get into that argument. Out of that, the win percentage for Jake White is 66%. Rassie only 52%. Having said that, what both coaches did. Now, South Africa had just come from the Harry Viljoen era and the Rudolf Stroley era. We all know those Springboks-ish. It wasn't happy times for us. We weren't in the greatest of modes. We had quality players, but they just couldn't gel with the type of management. Harry Viljoen, businessman, not really rugby knowledge. Rudolf Stroley, we think comes Stroll, that one, not good memories, not good times for SA Rugby. Rassie taking over from Alistair Coetzee, cheapest 57-0, Ireland loss, Italy loss, not happy times. So it's interesting how both these coaches start off in one section, and then just a few good years later, they win a World Cup. Both coaches, I feel, could have definitely gone on longer. I mean, Jake pretty much knew he was fired by the time we won the World Cup. And Rassie, we knew his goal was to win the World Cup, and that was it, handed down to Jacques, who's obviously been his assistant coach through Munster, and he's been around with Rassie for a long time. And no complaints there, the masterminds behind it. We could talk history, we can talk stats, but for me, it comes down to how you communicate and motivate your players. If you've read the Beast autobiography, he said how strict Jake was. He took away certain traditions. So, for example, after a game, players weren't allowed to go for their fines or their drinks to create this bond and camaraderie, get the geest, the atmosphere up in the team. Those were taken away, apparently, especially when he coached the Sharks. And, that, for me, is a big loss. Jake White's also been known to be quite hard, quite strict. Like I said, rules are rules. You follow it, or, things aren't going to happen. And with Jake, for me, he had a set structure, and if it didn't fit, it wasn't going to happen. For example, one thing I never agreed. When he started, Jaco van der Westhuizen was his number 10. Made no sense. We had such talented number 10s out there who could have done more. And he seemed to go with Jaco van der Westhuizen for quite some time. He did bring back the legend that is Osterhunt and Percy Montgomery, who shone and won the medals. Great moves. But if I look at Rassie, what he's done to motivate players and to mix things up a bit, to take clever strategies. I mean, when you think Rassie, if you're in South Africa, you think cheetahs on top of the stadium waving red, white boards to confuse the heck out of players. It was historic. He took a cheetahs team from nowhere, and he, blinking while, got them the Currie Cup victory, which was amazing. Jake, also junior World Cup winner, cannot discount him. But for me, how Rassie has been able to go into a team, make it his own, make the players love and respect him, and just take it to the next level is remarkable. I mean, to come in and to adapt also to very political situations. I mean, 2007, 2004, when Jake was in, we didn't really have massive political interference in SA Rugby, so he had it a little bit easier. Whereas Rassie had to follow transformation rules, had to do things differently in order to adapt. And he adapted. He took on the opportunity and made it his own. He didn't whine, he didn't complain, and he constantly thought of what he was going to do differently to take the Springbok team and make them World Cup champions. Interesting thing with these two geniuses of coaches is that both Jake and Rassie pretty much said, we're going to win the World Cup in the time they started their careers. And they both predicted it and they both achieved it. Absolutely amazing from both guys. But leading me back to Rassie is how he's just adapted provincially. Cheetahs, Munster, so well respected overseas. There was massive heartbreak when he left. And then he comes to South Africa when we are at our lowest point in history from a ranking point of view. It just was not healthy. Fans were upset. Fans were disappointed. It was a nasty time for SA Rugby, and people were just giving up. They were boycotting, and it was great that our Rassie could just change things up and make it his own, and just transform this team. So we can talk stats, we can talk it all, but for me personally, and I want to make this interactive and get you guys to comment, I'm going to go pick Rassie Erasmus any day as my Springbok coach. I just think the genius behind Rassie Erasmus is absolutely remarkable, and I think he has just got such a future in SA Rugby as director, controlling everything. I feel the sport is safe. When Jake for me is a hopper. He wants to go for the best opportunities. For me right now, like he's with the Bulls, he's doing great, but I still feel he wants international. That's it. Whereas Rassie, I feel safe, I feel protected, I feel he's so loyal to his spot, and I feel he's just going to take it to the next level. Even though he's not coach, he's still going to have a massive impact, and I see that being the next thing. So for me, I choose Rassie. Let me know who you choose. That's going to do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys real soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.